What is up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of Live Locks, presented by Scores and Odds. If you haven't checked it out already, just making bad life choices, going over to scoresandodds.com where you got picks from me, this piece of crap right here, and others. Plus, you get access to our nice little prop shopping tool. You can see exactly what we have projected for each individual prop, plus where the best lines at. And most importantly, you get access to Grant's Action Lounge. What is Grant's Action Lounge? Well, it's my Discord where I'm throwing in all my picks each and every day, so you can get in before the lines end up moving. Just go to scoresandodds.com/Discord. Just threw in the chat today. I'm joined by... Well, I already said it. Piece of crap. Daniel Schvelchen. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing all right, man. I'm doing well. Hopefully you are feeling better. I know you were feeling ill yesterday. I thought you would be feeling ill maybe like on Monday because I know you had yourself a good time at the old Waste Management. I hear that's a lot of fun there, the 16th hole over the weekend. But glad to hear you sound good. I know you're well rested. Glad to have you back.
Yeah. No, I got food poisoning last Friday, and it was lingering, and I had to drive a long ways on Monday. Got back home, and Tuesday woke up. I'm like, I'm done for. Because I hadn't slept more than like 4 hours a night, in like 4 days, and it wasn't even drinking related. It was all because of the food poisoning, and yeah, I'm like, I need to be done today. I need to get 12 hours of sleep. Doubled up my sleeping pills, and boom, was out from 8 o'clock to 8 o'clock.
Well, you should be refreshed. This is the last big boy slate for the NBA before we hit the extended All-Star break. Of course, Thursday, I think there's like a 3 or 4 gamer tomorrow. But tonight, 10 games, you were telling me pre-show. You have a pile of bets, lots of appealing spots. Of course, it's the association, so a lot of stuff is still up in the air as well. A lot of questionable body parts out there. But, yeah, at this time, 2 o'clock on the East Coast, fire away, man. I know you got a bunch of bets for the people, and I'm curious to hear what you have to say. And I am in a legalized betting state currently, so I'm making wagers as well. So, yeah, I'm excited.
I don't think Betfred's over in Tennessee.
I don't believe so. I think it's in Ohio, I want to say. I don't think it's in many
Ohio,
places.
Arizona, Colorado, Iowa, Louisiana, Maryland, Nevada, Pennsylvania, Virginia, as it's called, Washington.
Oop, that's Virginia?
Virginia, yes.
I met a Virginia I was speed dating once.
What? Yeah, that's 40-year-old virgin.
Yes.
Gina, actually. You got some nice soft features. You'd actually be a nice little segue for me. You've been off the horse for a while, so to speak. Great movie. Let's get right into the bets. We'll just go game by game, starting off with Chicago versus Indy. No DeRozan. I love Vooch. I love him today. I got us over 21.5 points, minus 125 at Caesars. Over 38.5 points, rebounds, assists, minus 110 at DK, minus 115 over at Caesars. I think he's going to crush here. I mean, averages, I think, a 13.7 or 23.5, 13.7 and 4 line on the season per 36 without DeRozan in the lineup going up against Indy. Turner may or may not play. Indy is below average, well below average, giving up everything to centers. I really like his overs. Anything I'm missing there? I know he's been playing not great recently, at least scoring-wise, but without DeRozan, he kind of needs – he's going to get bump in usage.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't the show to go on the rant about the Bulls, but, like, good Lord, why did you trade nobody at the trade deadline? You're so stuck in the middle. You're going absolutely nowhere. I believe Vooch is a free agent going into the offseason. Like, what is the point? What are you? Like, who do you think you are?
It's just like how – Vooch going somewhere in the offseason, you could have traded Vooch for Westbrook and gotten like 3 first-round picks from the Lakers. They would have done that instantly.
Well, I don't know if that's the case.
You don't think that the Lakers would have done that?
Wait, you're saying that you could have got 3 first-round picks for Vooch, you're saying?
Yeah, like 3 first-round picks way down the road.
You could have got something, like anything.
At least one first. Like, Lakers would have given you 1.
Well, the other part of that is that now they might feel like they're obligated or kind of sort of stuck into extending and signing Vooch in the offseason. And, like, this is the best he is. He's not getting any better. He's fine. He's a good basketball player, but he's not going to help you. Like, you're not going – this team is peaked, basically. This is it. and if you want to be the 7th best team in the East, I guess you extend him. But I don't know what the point is, what the Bulls are doing. Again, this isn't the show to go on the rant, but it is this sort of weird thing, right? All these teams that basically it's their last game. I think it's everybody playing today is not playing tomorrow. I don't think they're giving anybody a back-to-back before the All-Star break. When we'll talk about it, there's a lot of players that are questionable, and Turner didn't play last game. He's questionable. And, if he's legit banged up, why would you just give him this day and let him rest up for the next week, right? And maybe we're seeing that for DeRozan, a guy getting an extra day. Jamal Murray, we'll talk about him, I suppose, at some point. But why would Denver bring Murray back with his injury management as far as his knee for one game, and that when you can just give him a whole 2 weeks off, basically. Curious team philosophy in that, but I think there's a decent chance Turner sits, but I don't know. And I absolutely think it's a great benefit to Vuk if Turner sits. And the other secret one is Daniel Tice is also questionable too. The pace, he's not like a great basketball player, but he's got size, he's got girth, he's a big boy. If you threw Turner and Tice out, we're looking at Jalen Smith, Brissett, Nectat, James Johnson, some undersized bigs, Isaiah Jackson. Like Vuk's going to work all those guys. So there's some hidden value in this, basically, and it's fine as is, but it could get even better. And inversely, you didn't go to it, you didn't mention it or not. I don't even know if you have it on your list, but I think Halliburton, if Caruso sits, can really just do whatever he wants out there today. Caruso currently questionable as well, but I don't know if you have Halliburton on your list anywhere or anybody else in this game, but just thought that was worth noting.
The only other guy I have in this game is Dosunmu. I have him over 17.5 points, minus 105 at Betfred. That was a terrible line. I don't even know if it's available. But I also took his alt line at which you don't have Betfred in your state. FanDuel will have some lines, I'm sure, at some point. We currently have him project for 20.85 PRA in this spot. I got over 17.5.
Okay, that wasn't just
PRA.
Points, right? 17. Okay, yeah, because I thought I heard just points.
Yeah, and for some reason, Betfred let me get a G down, which I was pretty happy about. But right now, the line at most other places, like minus 115, minus 120, minus 131 over at Caesars, I got it minus 105, and then over 19.5, I got it plus 165, which is just silly to me. Like, that's less than we have been projected for. I'm getting it plus 165. Strangely enough, they'll let me get $200 down that one. But Dosunmu, like, no DeRozan. Let's see what he's averaging without him on the floor. 12, 4, and 3.5 per 36 without DeRozan on the floor. I mean, I don't think that's not much of a increase, but it's a little bit of an increase. Yeah, he's going up with rebound, with assists a decent amount, points slightly. I don't know how much sample size we have on that. Obviously, changed first unit, second unit. So overall, I think that those lines are just awful.
Indiana, 7th fastest team in basketball, also, so a nice pace. And if Caruso's out, might get an extra minute or two thrown his way as well to Zumo. So, yeah, I'm in on all that for sure. Indiana also a bottom 7, bottom 8 defense. So they play fast, and they're a poor defensive team. I think that's a good bet.
All right, moving on to the next game. We got San Antonio going up against Charlotte. Boatload of bets here for me. Boatload of bets here. First off, Keldon Johnson, over 24.5 points, minus 105 at Betway, minus 106 at Superbook, minus 105 at Betfred. I hit it multiple times. Going up against Charlotte was the total 243.5, I think, in this game.
Huge number.
That sounds about right. Number. Yeah, massive.
I believe 240-ish. 243.5.
Yeah, I got it right. Nice. Yeah, but massive total here. Keldon Johnson's going to eat up a ton of the usage. He's already been hitting this over at a decent clip in tougher matchups. Slightly worried about blowout. If blowout happens, I'm going to lose my butt, to say the least. But I have
when have the Hornets blown it out of team like the last time that's happened? I feel like they.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's the Spurs, and the Spurs are arguably the worst team in the league. The Hornets are right there as far as the tankathon. The 4 teams that are battling for the 3 spots, San Antonio and Charlotte are 2 of them. Detroit and Houston be the other ones. Shout out to Spurs, buddy. They've lost 13 in a row. Good for them.
Impressive.
It is. And Charlotte, like, they want to lose this game. This is an important game for them to try to lose, but it's going to be hard because they're facing the Spurs. because they're currently on the outside looking in, one game ahead of Detroit. Detroit currently in that third spot for the draft lottery simulation. But yeah, go ahead, keep going. You're talking about Charlotte and how good LaMelo should absolutely smash. I don't know if you have the number is really big on him, but justifiably so.
Yeah, the number is really big. That's why I haven't bet it yet. But I have other bets. I have Sochan under 6.5 rebounds. He's averaging like 5.3 in the last month and a half. We have projected for 5.3. 6.5 is just a bad number. It should be at 5.5 with a little bit of juice on the over, but I'm going to take advantage of that. Favorite bet on the board, Mark Williams, over 0.5 turnovers. Dude averages 0.8 turnovers per 15. He's going to probably play what? What do we have him projected at? Probably 30?
28 to 30 minutes.
Mark Williams, yeah, we projected at 28. So just based on that, even though minus 151 juice, I don't care. I'm going to take the free money.
So my favorite bet probably the entire day is Mark Williams, but points, I got it at 12.5, over 12.5 on FanDuel at minus 108. I think it's adjusted a little bit since. I moved the needle apparently because I saw it adjust right after I bet it. And then I also bet it on the alt line. I think it was 15 points, I don't know, plus 160 or something like that. So the Spurs are the worst defense in all of basketball when it comes to defensive efficiency. It's not even close, not even a conversation. Like they're like 2 or 3 points worse than the second worst team in the league as far as defensive efficiency. They play fast, right? So they play horrible defense. They play fast, horrible defense, 8th fastest pace in the league. They give up the most points in the paint in all of basketball. No team gives up more points in the paint. That one's almost not. I think it's like a full point ahead of the next team. And they've gotten even worse in the absence of Jakob Poeltl. Jakob Poeltl now gone from San Antonio. They lost some of their size inside. They never really had a rim stopper. If they did have a rim stopper, it was Jakob Poeltl. He's gone. He's up in Toronto. I think it's 63 points in the paint. Small sample size, but the last 3 games, they've given up 63 points in the paint, which is insanity. And Mark Williams, 75% of his points come from, wait for it, where do they come from, Grant? They come from the paint.
Points in the paint?
Yeah, so that's where he scores. San Antonio's horrible. That's where they're most vulnerable. He's just going to get some easy buckets. That's just – he's a little bit handsy. Hopefully he stays out of foul trouble. Like, who's going to get him in foul trouble in San Antonio? I don't want to throw that in the ether because anybody can, and these guys sometimes just foul nobodies for whatever reason. But if he plays his 28 to 30 minutes, I feel really good about this bet.
Yeah, I'm currently looking into that right now.
Did I not sell you? I give you a whole sales pitch.
Yeah, no, I think I'm going to hit that.
$1 on it. A good bit.
What's a good bit? And
about 600, 700.
Yeah, I'd say that's a good bit on a player prop.
Yeah.
I wish I could get that much money down. Actually,
well,
no, I still can't.
They don't know if I'm sharp or I'm not sharp. Yeah.
I have 2 sites that will let me get money down, like a decent amount of money down, and I take full advantage of them. I just put 270 down on Mark Williams, just on your whatever it's called. Advice.
I gave a whole sales pitch, man. I gave a whole spiel, man. I mean, it might not work out, but the thesis of the play.
Yeah, no, the rationale is solid, which is I know not normal for you. But yeah, no, that's a solid bet there. I like that. I'm rolling with it. I just moved the line.
And also the defense versus archetype matchup tool. If you believe that, if you trust that, if you call Mark Williams a post big second best matchup, I believe in all of basketball. Just one more piece to take a peek at. Yes, post big second best matchup there against the Spurs. It's just all sort of lines up. It feels really good to me. Again, I bet him on his alt points too. I think it was 15 points on DK. I don't have I don't have a spreadsheet, like a fancy spreadsheet like yourself, because again, I'm just dabbling. I'm on the road right now, and I'm actually in a sports gambling state. I'm still in Tennessee. I'm in Nashville. Represent. This is where the RotoGrinders party went down, and I just decided to stick around for a bit and sports gamble. But yeah, love Mark Williams, my favorite play on the board.
Yep. Last ones I got, PJ Washington over 24.5 points minus or plus 100 over at Betfred. It's kind of all over the place with this bet with odds. This was kind of mostly an odds play and just San Antonio is terrible, but it's 23.5 minus 120 on the over at MGM. It's 24.5 minus 122 on the over at FanDuel. 25.5 minus 125 on the over at Caesars. I got it at 24.5, even money on the over. So it's one of those where realistically, if I really wanted to, I could try and middle, but I won't.
Yeah, it's tough. Yeah, it's tough middle.
I mean, I just like the over. And then last one, Malachi Branham, over 20.5 points, minus 103 at Caesars. Over 24.5 plus 280 over at Betfred, which is just silly to me. I mean, the guy's been solid. He's going to play a boatload of minutes, obviously, with all the injuries and the fact they're trying to tank. They're just going to play him. Just play him. Look at it. Last game, 18-2-1. Game before that, 6-10-1. Game before that, 27-5-7. 4-5-3. 15-5-4. 26-2-3. 22-1-5. He's hit the over 24.5. Like 3 out of the last 6 games are going to be plus 280. Yeah, I'm going to take that every time.
Hey, is there any? I meant to look. Is there any Devontae Graham props right now for points or anything?
Let's see.
He's been getting like. There's not a lot of like alphas on the Spurs right now. He is a willing shooter for sure. Since coming
There's
over
nothing out there right now.
I want to find something. It's also a sneaky revenge game, if you believe in such things. When Devontae Graham was best or most, I don't know, at his peak in the NBA, he was on the Hornets, and I feel like he was averaging that. Wasn't he averaging like close to 20 points a game at some point? I think that was a thing. Yeah, and he's been pretty good for San Antonio, and willing shooter. He can shoot 14 to 20 shots depending on. And it's a good matchup both ways. Obviously, you can't play against his own team, the Spurs. That will be the best matchup. He probably crushes like scrimmages and practices, but the Hornets are a great team to pick on as well. And he's also a guy that if this game gets out of hand, I think he's pretty blowout proof too. So either way, I think he has a decent chance to close if this game is close, and he's got a decent chance to mop up if this game gets ugly. So yeah. Devontae Graham is somebody I'm gonna be looking for if there's any props that pop up.
Second year in the league, 18-7-3. Third year, 15-5-2, and then went to New Orleans, went downhill real quickly.
Yeah. He's one of those guys that like probably thinks he's better than he is, Which I guess you're supposed to. You're supposed to be confident, I guess. He's got a little Dylan Brooks in him.
Yep. New York versus Atlanta, I got nothing. Detroit versus Boston. Chime in if you have anything in there. Detroit versus Boston, I've got nothing. Miami versus Brooklyn, I got 2 bets. Caleb Martin over 9.5 points, minus 105 over at Betfred. It's sitting much higher. Over at other sites was strictly a pricing play. Yeah, minus 124 over at FanDuel, minus 130 over at MGM, minus 127, minus 130. It's way higher. So it's just strictly one of those price plays pretty much everywhere. That I generally try and do. And then, what was the other one? I know Dinwiddie, over 29.5 points, a little bit of an alt line, plus 125 over at Betfred. I don't hate his other lines. Dinwiddie, what's his normal?
I bet his assist over. I bet a Dinwiddie assist over. I don't know if it's because like his teammates stink and the efficiency, as far as like potential assists have been pretty strong, but he hasn't been like racking up a whole bunch. But again, like look at the guys he's passing to, and that's important too. He's not throwing it to Kyrie.
You get a 4.5 or 5.5, I'm assuming.
I got it at 5.5, but I got it as a plus on 5.5. I think it was a plus.
Yeah, it's sitting at plus 115 right now. I'm going to check to see. That's one of those where so Betfred's an interesting site. It just offers like essentially the alt overs.
Okay.
Whatever it's called.
Well, what are the options? 4.5 and 5.5. What's the number on 4.5?
On 4.5, like minus 170, and then 5.5 is minus or plus 110. So not any better. Like again, like I said, Caleb Martin was sitting at minus 130 everywhere, and I got it minus 105. There's another one that I got. Let's see. Jabari Smith was sitting at PRA 24.5, almost minus 120, minus 130 everywhere. I got it at minus 133 over at Caesars. I got it plus 100. So
yeah,
just different ones. But yeah, I don't really have a ton else in this game.
211.5 total was just kind of wild to see these days, right?
Yeah, I mean, but it is Miami.
So. Yeah. In Brooklyn, they've always good defenders now. It's a good defensive team, and their offense certainly has taken a hit. And the Caleb Martin thing is, it's Miami's rotations. They're going to play. Well, they may get Duncan Robinson back tonight. We'll see, I suppose. Ideally, if you're betting Caleb Martin overs, you don't want Robinson on the court, but most of his minutes will be taken away from like Bouye or something like that. But the rotations for Miami are so tight. Basically, Adebayo, Strus, Vincent, Butler, all going to play, 32, 33, 34, and Martin should play at least 30 as well. But yeah, just thought it was worth noting. It's interesting that the Miami rotation is just so tight, and that's obviously why. Not that Caleb Martin's great, but he's going to be out there for a while.
Yeah. No, that's bad. Yep. Cleveland, Philly. I don't think I have anything. Doesn't look like it.
Embiid's questionable again. I assume he plays because he's questionable and plays all the time.
Yeah.
Two good defensive teams, right? And two teams that play slow. So I guess unders are in play. But yeah, is there stuff out there for Philadelphia? I didn't look because I assume they're waiting for the Embiid news to drop.
No, not really.
Yeah.
Houston, OKC. If this game blows out, I'm in a world of pain.
You got a lot of overs.
I got a lot of overs. So first one, Jabari Smith, I already mentioned it, over 24.5, plus 100. Betfred, just drastic deviation from the rest of the sites. I have Jae'Sean Tate over 17.5, plus 110, 19.5, plus 200, 21.5, plus 360. That's PRA.
Okay.
I know he's probably only going to play like mid-20s minutes, maybe get to 30 if it stays close. Chance, probably not. We currently have projected.
They've given him the most minutes they've given him this season is 25, but 24, 24, 25, his last three, that's where he's capped. I think that's the most he's played. Yeah, but I think the 25 is secure, pretty secure.
Yeah, we haven't projected for 25. We haven't projected for 19.32 PRA, which is pretty solid. I just took a chance on it. I trust the projections. I hit the ladder because those numbers just seem drastically off.
Where'd you get that at?
Betfred.
Everything's at Betfred.
I mean, a lot of my bets are at Betfred. Yeah. So I went the ladder there. I went decently heavy, and then I got Jabari Smith over, and then I guess I don't have as much bets in here as I thought in this game.
I love SGA, but I don't know if the number is worth taking a shot on.
If I wasn't worried about the blowout, I might take it. I think it's a 32.5. My matchup versus Houston's fantastic, but
10-point line.
Yeah. I'm probably just staying away.
I mean, SGA is going to roast Houston, like just roast them.
Oh yeah, absolutely destroy it.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure Defensive Versus Archetype confirmed that as well. I think it was like the number one play on the board, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. It's a good Şengün matchup for the record, if you weren't aware. And let's see, for OKC, I think it's the number one. Give me 1 second. So for combo guards, it's the best spot. If we have anything on steals, we know Houston turns the ball over more than anybody else. If you see any good lines for steals for SGA or for Dort or for any of these guys, Giddey, Williams, I would keep an eye on that as well.
Sitting at 1.5 with even money on the over. We have projected for 1.81. Dort is projected, his line is sitting at 0.5. We haven't projected for 1, but minus 220 on the over at 0.5.
How do you feel about that SGA one? Even money.
It's not bad. I can't bet over on MGM. You probably can.
I'm not sure if I've signed. Let's see. I'm signing up for all of them. I'm trying to, and I have it written down. I'm not sure if I'm there. Maybe. Yeah, I think I did.
If you're not on MGM, go do that immediately.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I won my $1,000 bet there. So yeah. Okay. Yeah. I have it written down. I'm trying to keep track of everything. But
yeah, plus 100 is pretty solid there.
So as far as steals this season, opponent steals this season, Houston Rockets give up 9.1 per game, which is 0.8 more steals than the next worst team, which you guessed it, it's the Spurs because they're horrendous. Yeah. So I believe they get blocked them up.
Averaging 2.4 steals per game. After that, you want to hit? Let's hit it right now. Let's live bet.
Let's go to the. It's where do you have it at? Where's the best?
I have it. It's at MGM at plus 100. I have it at plus 103 over at Caesars.
All right.
Let's see. SGA. Gosh, I love gambling. Your boy made some decent money on the Super Bowl.
You did?
Yeah, I was live betting it.
Oh yeah, we talked about this. You basically put yourself in a spot where no matter what happened, you'd win like $3K or something.
Yeah, if that was for the Eagles one, I think I won like $5K with the Chiefs, but I got some silly lines. Pretty much tapped out all my accounts. Like I had 20 grand with either winning 3K or winning 5K, just because I hedged out a bit at the end.
I had Smith in the ladders. That was my best bet for Philadelphia, and he just got over 101. They took away a 40-yard catch, which was brutal, which really got me. I had him all up to 125. I had him as the leading receiver in the game as well. He did get that. And I had Kansas City money line, so it worked out. I lost a couple goofy things, like the kickoff was going to get returned because I don't know if I'm sure you saw the Sharps were all talking about the ball they use for kickoff is some kind of ceremonial ball where the kicker's done all the mess with it and somehow it subdues the ball from going as far as it should. You probably read that somewhere. And
so was the better bet for touchback or not touchback?
Oh, it was like plus 140 that you're going to run it back. So that was because the ball doesn't go as far as it normally would if the kicker gets to mess with it, and they couldn't mess with the initial kick.
I mean, it was a touchback on the one. One of my favorite ones. One of my buddies bet.
It was a loser.
Yeah, one of my buddies bet. Just mess this up. One of my buddies bet first touchdown. Who was it? First touchdown, Hurts. Second touchdown, Kelsey. Third touchdown, AJ Brown.
What?
$5 free bet to win $1,000.
Well, how do you? I mean, there's no logic to that though. Like,
oh no, he was just doing it for funsies. It was a $5 free bet. No, he full on just places like $5 bets to win 500 all the time. I'm like, I just know it's not a good idea.
Kevin Roth won himself a $10 bet, like a plus 5,000 bet.
Yeah, it's gonna mess. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
All right, next game we got Utah at Memphis. I hit the under on Clarkson. And then did some news come out that Markkanen was going to play, or Markkanen is questionable?
He's questionable. Yeah,
so that kind of crushed my under. I still like the under at 34.5 points, rebounds, assists, but I got it 32.5. So hopefully Markkanen plays. And then Ja Morant over 43.5 points, rebounds, assists, minus 113. He's been crushing this line. Going up against Utah. Utah currently 4th in the league and giving up the most points in the paint. Ja's going to just pound into the basket. Massive total here for Memphis. I know it's potential of a blowout, but Ja's going to go nuts here.
Yeah, I mean, I think I think he's an excellent play. It's just a matter of how close is this game, and if they lose Markkanen, it could be trouble. And I think Markkanen's an all-star, so I'm not sure if they're resting him for the all-star game, or I'm not really sure how it's going to go down. But it's the midday downgrade. I'm always sort of suspicious of that came in today. That wasn't something that he carried a couple days ago. The updated injury report for Utah had him downgraded to questionable. So that does feel a little dicey.
Yeah.
Not knowing anything else in regards to that injury.
Yep.
I can't remember my password. It's killing me. I don't know why it doesn't save it.
You dumb. Yeah. That's all the bets I got. Bally Sports has filed for bankruptcy.
Interesting. Who's under that umbrella? Are they by themselves?
I honestly
they're under a big umbrella, aren't they?
I don't know. I mean, because I know that's one of the few ones I don't know. Because I thought like Bally's is owned by Caesars, but Bally's Sports I don't think are.
Yeah, Bally Sports I believe carries a bunch of like local, like here's the Heat broadcast brought by Bally Sports. Like they have a bunch of
it's Sinclair Broadcasting.
Sinclair, that's okay. That's a big umbrella. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So that's all the bets. You got anything else?
What else did I'm trying to think if there's anything else I was a big fan of, but I think we basically covered it all just sort of organically. The Boston conversation, they're gonna just ravage Detroit, they're gonna mollywop them. But I assume the lines just kind of came out because now Tatum's gonna play, and it's just the whole Marcus Smart's coming back today for Boston as well, which is interesting because why not? I guess he's 100%. Otherwise, there's no reason. You're a 13-point favorite. Marcus Smart hasn't played in weeks, right? Why would he come back now, a day before the All-Star break? It's just odd, but he's back. You don't need him, and you can rest him an extra week, but he's expected back. And Tatum was just an illness. And Horford, doesn't play back-to-backs, so he didn't play yesterday. He's going to play tonight. So that's why Boston is going to annihilate this Detroit team, I believe. But the line has since adjusted. I believe it jumped like 4 points when that news came out.
5.
So,
yeah, it jumped 5.
Yeah, nothing to take advantage of.
Yeah.
I got nothing else right now. Monitor, I would say Halliburton is a slight bump if Caruso is out. You mentioned the Vuk one with Turner. And is there anybody else that say it again?
And Tice.
Yeah. Tice is at least like a big body, right? And they would be kind of undersized if they lose both those guys. But Indiana generally waits pretty late as far as giving their news. So, but you should get it by 6:30 or something like that. I got nothing else, Grant.
All right. Okay. It's been fun. We're out of here. Later, kids.